What's up, y'all? So, as the writer of Love's Garden, I will be doing a reader review. So, even though I am the writer, Love's Garden was written in 2017. Now it's 2020, and I've grown as a woman, I've grown as a writer. So, even though this is my work, I am no longer the writer I'm no longer the person I was when I wrote it. So now that I'm reading it, it's very, very interesting. Honestly, I have forgotten some of the things that have happened in the book, so it's kind of sort of like I'm reading it for the first time once again. Even though I know the plot, I don't remember like little bits of it. So these two copies right here are my copies that I have had for years, and as you can see, they are very beat up and written in and highlighted and all of that good stuff. And yeah, you see, like, yeah. And as you can see, this one I probably had this one longer than I've had that one. So this one doesn't have as much writing in it though. But so what I'm gonna be doing is reviewing it and like taking my time to go through it with you guys and giving my opinion on it, and hopefully, you know, you guys will respond letting me know what you think. Previous readers engage with me, and new readers pick up the book. It is available on Amazon, and just talk with me. So Love's Garden, nice. Let's see, let's go to the beginning. So one thing that some people have told me is that at the beginning of the book they can't really tell who the speaker is. And while I'm reading it, I understand what they're saying. I see that the speaker of Love's Garden is so in tune with what's going on with Mo and Q at the beginning that the speaker isn't really telling us who he is. But there is insight into that, because in the beginning it says, I was sitting in a crowd when I heard a woman ask whatever happened to Cupid. I laughed, went to my rock, and couldn't get her out of my head. It takes a special person to show interest in your story. So being that she said whatever happened to Cupid, and then in the next paragraph he says your story, you know, I thought that it was letting the readers know that it was Cupid, but apparently it wasn't. But that's just a little small, you know, little note or whatever that I've noticed. So I guess this will be a review and also insight into the story. The second chapter, which also the chapters aren't first chapter, second chapter, they are arrows, because Cupid is the storyteller and Cupid has the bow and arrow. Isn't that funny? That was a little cute thing. So I'm a self-published writer, meaning that I set up the entire format of my book, and I set up my template through Microsoft, and Microsoft has these little art and stuff that you can add into your document. So that's how that got there. So yep. So I guess we'll say second chapter. So I went to A&T. North Carolina A&T State University is a HBCU that is located in Greensboro, North Carolina. And anybody who is an Aggie knows that Club Bluford, we call it, which is the library, is a really big place on campus. So when I was wanting to introduce the audience to the two kids that Cupid focuses his story around, I wanted it to be at the library, because the library is a place where, you know, everybody hangs out and you could meet your potential boo. So Cupid talks about how Q, who is one of the kids, goes up to Mo and introduces himself, and how Mo is like, what's up? Because she's in the library doing her work, so what do you want? And then he goes into saying how, because at the beginning, you know, like Mo had that attitude, like Q came up and introduced himself, and Mo was like, what do you want? Because I'm over here minding my business. So Q becomes a little aggravating dude that likes her, that sees her in places and not always bothering her. And then he ends up getting her number. Isn't that cute? So then he gets her number and he sent her a text message. And before you know it, Q is like winning her over. Like, he's simply showing interest in her. And I wish that men knew that a woman getting attention from the man that she's interested in or attracted to is exactly how he's going to win her over. Just give her attention. You know, just be chill and give her attention, okay? Don't do too much. So, one of the funny parts about Mo and Q, I guess Mo and Q's relationship growing, one of the funniest things to me was when Mo was kind of sort of like hitting Q with the booty call, and then he like, okay, I'm gonna come and get you, and then her period comes. So like she has to spend a night with Q, and she's nervous about like, oh well, what's gonna happen when I have to lay in a bed with him? And this is their first time like spending the night together. So she's like, oh my gosh, like I hope I don't have to explain to this dude that I'm on my period, just in case he reach over and touch me or something like that. And he doesn't. He's actually a gentleman. So that was interesting because it's like two different things is going on. It's one relationship, but over here she's on her period and she's kind of insinuated that she wants to have sex and she's about to spend the night. But on his side, he's like, she's spending the night and it could be that we about to have sex, but she hasn't done anything, so I'm going to respect her. So while he's over here being respectful, she's over there wondering like, is he going to be respectful? And that's dope. That's dope. That's nice. That situation worked out. So Mo goes from being like to starting to feel cute, because clearly they went from being at the library to seeing each other in social events, to Q bothering her, to then him getting her number, to him showing interest in her, to, I didn't say this part, to them hanging out, and then her wanting to have sex, hitting him up to hang out, and then her period coming on, and them still hanging out, and him not causing her to have to explain like, I'm on my period, him being respectful. So now Mo is feeling him. And they spending time together and whatnot, and then they end up having sex. and this is also, and just take it back real quick. This is why people forget who the speaker is, because we're talking about Mo and Q. We're no longer talking about the speaker. The speaker is talking about Mo and Q. Okay, back to the story. Okay, so right here is when we find out who the speaker is, because it says, now usually both folks are hit at the same time, but Mo and Q were different. Q was open to his feelings, therefore he was hit first. So remember the bow and arrow, and remember this is Cupid. So Cupid is explaining now Mo and Q, their steps of building their bond, building their relationship, and then now it's time for Cupid to hit them with the bow and arrow. Because I think that the bow and arrow is a symbol of like, okay, I'm starting to really feel you. Like, I'm really vibing with you. You're on my mind. I might be, low-key falling for you. So Q gets hit first with his bow and arrow. And like Cupid said, now usually both folks are hit at the same time, but Mo and Q were different. Q was open to his feelings. Therefore, he was the first to get hit. Now, this is when things get interesting, because this is when Cupid is talking about these two feelings towards, I'm sorry, damn, okay, anywho, these two feelings towards one another. And this is where I have grown as a reader and as a woman, and this is why I love this book, because Cupid is, like I said, Cupid has watched Mo and Q's relationship grow. He's watched them go from, Q admiring Mo, to Q getting, Mo to give him her number, to them texting, to them hanging out, to them spending the night, to them becoming intimate, to them starting to feel one another. And how are they feeling one another? Separately. So Q got hit with the bow and arrow first because he was cool, he was open, he liked Mo. It was that simple for him. If he liked her, then he liked her. But Mo, on the other hand, was going through some stuff. Now, if me as the reader takes in how Mo and Q met, then it would also is also kind of sort of like a foreshadowing into how their relationship is going to be, because Q was open to going in and introducing himself to Mo, but Mo was sitting there like, bruh, I'm tending to my homework and you coming over here and you bothering me. So I feel like that's a lesson in itself, that when you are showing interest into someone, you need to make sure that they are, hold on, let me fix my hair real quick, that they are willing to be open to y'all to being whatever y'all gonna be, because I don't feel like Mo was ever okay with Q coming into her life. I don't feel like that. So let me get back to the story. So by this time, Q is hit. Now Cupid goes into talking about Mo's feelings, and he says, believe it or not, Q made it easy for Mo to sparkle. And sparkling is Cupid's indication to hit someone with the bow and arrow. Sparkling is basically like that glow that you get when when you vibing with the right person, period. Let's see. It wasn't that he had to prove himself, but he had to show her something to believe in. All her life, okay, so this is the part. We talking about Mo. All her life, she had been around relationships that either failed or looked successful with hella lies behind them. Long ago, Mo decided that she'd rather fantasize about love than experience it. Like the manuscript says, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Alright, so not only and this is just personally, not only am I the writer of the book, I'm also right now the reader of the book, and I'm also Mo of the book. So this paragraph right here sums up why this is happening to Mo, and it also sums up it sums up why this is happening to Mo. And it also sums up why she is who she is right now at this moment with what's going on in her life right now. And I'm just going to break up I think it's 3 sentences. So, all her life, she had been around relationships that either failed or looked successful with hella lies behind them. So right there, she's already uncomfortable with this situation. She's already made up in her mind how she feels about love. So she's already not going to be open to it. Long ago, Mo decided that she'd rather fantasize about love than experience it. Okay, so that's the decision that Mo has made because of what she has seen. But like the manuscript says, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So, I've already read Love's Garden plenty of times. I wrote it, I read it, like I said, I know the outline of it. I know the beginning, the middle, and the end. I just don't remember like the little stuff in it. But I feel like, and also knowing the projects that's gonna come after this, I now understand, and also being Mo, like I said, I now understand, or I now kind of sort of can get why Q came into my life. I feel like sometimes we as people make decisions in our life based off of what we've been through, and God is like, I have to show you that what you think is so bad, it's not that bad. So that's just another thing that's off the timeline of this. Let me get back to this. So let's see. Yes. So now Q has been hit, and Mo is about to be hit as well, because even though she's trying to be a hard ass, she still gets your feelings for Q as well. Okay, so here comes the drama. Now, they done got to know each other, they vibe, and they both have been hit with a bow and arrow. Now here comes the problem. Q's phone rings at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Yep, at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, these two are chilling in the bed. They chilling in the bed. They doing, you know, they just chilling. They watching TV. They chilling. And his phone rings at 2 o'clock in the morning. Mo felt some type of way about that, but she didn't say anything because even though they was vibing and, you know, they doing boyfriend and girlfriend things, they wasn't boyfriend and girlfriend. So she didn't feel like it was her position to say something about that. Even though she didn't say anything, she got a little attitude, and he could tell that she was upset, but she didn't say anything. Instead of saying something to her man, when she went back to her dorm, she said something to her roommate, and her roommate is like, well, why you ain't say nothing? And then Mo was like, because even though his phone did ring at 2 o'clock in the morning, and even though he did eventually answer the phone, it was just a friend. So she couldn't really be that mad. And it wasn't, you know, it was at the wrong time, you know, but it wasn't inappropriate. So she wasn't upset with him with the phone ringing at 2 o'clock in the morning. Listen to this shit. She was upset that she felt some type of way about his phone ringing at 2 o'clock in the morning. So she was upset that she gave a damn. But she's already been hit with a bow and arrow. So she's already feeling him. But she's mad that she's feeling him because she's already made up in her mind that she just wants to fantasize about love. But if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So Love's Garden is Mo going through a journey. Love's Garden is the overall, you know, story, but it's stories within stories. And one of the main stories that I'm realizing is Mo's process through this book. It's beautiful. So, yeah. Mo done already caught feelings. Q done already caught feelings. They are already in the midst of their relationship. Now now something has happened that has showed Mo that she is feeling Q, and now she's ready to fall back. Now she's ready to stop catching feelings for him. But she's going through a battle because it's like on the outside she's moving forward with this man, but on the inside, you know, she's trying to fall back with this man. Now remember, they're in college. Now I didn't say this in the book, but Q, well, I didn't like openly stated, but Mo lived on campus. Well, I did openly state it, but I didn't, I guess, write a sentence that said Mo lives on campus and Q lives in an apartment off campus. I didn't say that. But if you use your context clues, I think the damn readers would know. No offense for saying damn readers, that's just how I speak. Let me see, where am I at? So yeah. So they're in college. Mo lives on campus. Q lives off campus. It's the summertime. Now it's the summertime, and Mo has to go home because she lives on campus. So when it's summertime and you're not in school and you live on campus, you gotta go home because school ain't open. So campus ain't open. And then when you live off campus, then you can stay because you know you have a lease with that apartment. So Mo, in her mind, thought, okay, I'm going home. I'm going to be out of the city because Mo didn't live in her college city. So she's like, I'm going to be out of the city. I'm going to be able to dead my feelings with you. I'm going to just stop calling him all the time and I'm going to be good. Ain't wrong because absence makes the heart go farther. And that's just the beginning, y'all. That's just, this book just got so much going on. That's just this much. That's just this much of the book. That ain't even this of the book, okay? Do you hear me? So